What is up, YouTube? And thus being my day off, I get an opportunity to make another video. And today, I'm thinking about making training soldiers and just a soldier guide for everyone, for new players, even mid-tier players, advanced players should know everything that I'm about to say, but it's basically going to be a guide on just soldiers and how you should train and everything to do with soldiers, okay? So, let's get started. Starting off for beginners. Alright, beginners should definitely go after, let's see, you need someone, basically as a beginner, you start off the game, you need someone like Leon, someone that has a lot of movement, someone, Leon. Here, let me go some characters that, I know you can't get Leon right away if you're starting off, so for beginners, you definitely want to go with this guy, alright? If you just started the game, Leon, he's the one to get. So basically, Leon, and let me go. Moeller, he's a good one. You could use him as a main character. He has a lot of distance as a flyer. You want to unlock his tank and his flyer, but you want to keep him as a flyer. Who's another one? Landford is a good substitute for otherwise Leon. He's more of a infantry, but his soldiers can be cavalry or infantry, but he has chivalry just like Leon. You can go with Cherry. You can go with, let's see here. That's basically it. You want to get one of those characters. You just want someone with a lot of mobility, and when you rank him all up, he can be tanky, and he can pretty much one-shot anything. And that's what you want your main character to be. And someone that, preferably like Leon, the reason he's so OP is because of his passive, which he can run back 3 turns. He can move another 3 blocks after he attacks, so that's why he's so OP. So, now that we've gone over that, back to soldiers. Once you got your main guy, whatever your main guy is, you want to go with his soldiers. So that's why I had to explain that first part, where you want your those characters that I named, whichever one you decide to go with, and optimally it's who you get, because obviously you don't get Leon right away right now. You can't summon for him right now. I mean, there's no way to really get him unless you get extremely lucky in the random draw. So whoever at the time you can summon, or who you happen to get for some reason, you train his soldiers up. For me, it was Leon. So we go to Leon, right? I'm going to use an example. Leon can use Vampire Bats, minor level 10. I also use Vampire Bats for Moeller, because Moeller and Leon are a great combo. One of the best combos in the game, because Leon can pretty much go anywhere on the map with Moeller's fraction buff, and he gets fraction buff from Moeller, and Moeller is a beast also. So Vampire Bats, they can both use them. If you go here, Leon can use it, Moeller can use it. Sonya, who is another character that I did not mention, that you could actually, she's a SR though, she's not SSR, but she's a lot easier to get. But she's another character that you can use in replacement of Leon if you do not have Leon and you do not have any SSR that I named, and you have a Sonya, you could use Sonya. Train her Vampire Bats. She's actually very, very strong for SR. Honestly, I'm even thinking about using her, and I have Leon and everybody else, so she's actually very good. She's part of the Dark Reincarnation fractions, so in arena, she's actually just as good as Leon. Because just like Leon, she can walk away through spaces, but she has to kill the opponent. But if you train her up and put all of her resources in her, she'll kill anyone, like, unless they're Lancer or something like that. But yeah. Anyways, back to the topic. Vampire bats, they're amazing. They heal. After attacking, soldiers can restore 45% of damage dealt after battle. So as long as one soldier is alive, the only thing, one soldier has to be alive. Because when you, I don't know if there's a way to show you, but when you're battling in the game for beginners, you have your pretty much your hero health, and then you have your soldier health. Okay, and your soldier health, if you attack someone directly with the melee attack, it attacks the soldiers. And if you manage to kill the soldiers, it goes to the hero. Some attacks, like assassins, have a move that can go strictly towards the hero. And if the hero dies, everything dies, including the soldiers. So, but as far as this goes, as long as one vampire bat out of all the health you have, as long as one survives, you get that 45% of damage out. If they all die, though, you don't get nothing. You don't get any health back because all your soldiers are dead. So that's how that works. It's actually pretty good. As like Old-Time Muller has a move. Let me show you. Old-Time Muller has a move that reduces the damage you take. So that makes it to where most of the times, even if it's like a really strong opponent that you're facing, your soldiers are not all going to die and you'll get to heal. And that move being this one, Raging Thunder, because it grants Wind Ride before battle. When HP is above 15%, damage taken from melee attacks decreases by 15%. So you get 15% decreased damage on everything, your soldiers and your unit. And his passive does pretty much the same thing. Well, for physical damage, you know, you get a bump in attack, and then physical damage taken decreases by 4%. And that stacks 4 times, so it just keeps stacking up to 4%. For AA, they said 16 if you got 4 stacks on him, and he's 5-star. So if you have 6-star, it'd be 10. It'd be more. So it'd be 20%. So let's go back to these. You wanna train. Starting off, you want to waste all your resources on the soldiers that you're using. Okay? And real quick, let me go over this. If you get to play the game a lot, and you're going to be on it for more than 2 hours, do a 2 hour. Do 2 hours. If you get your units to level 60, it's usually enough to have that efficiency up to 100%. And the good thing about this game that they don't do in other games, usually when in other games when you're doing this, when you're training units, like in training, whatever units you're using, you're not allowed to actually use them in the game until they're out of the training. But this game doesn't do that. This game allows you to use the units that you're putting in training, so it doesn't matter what units you put in training, you can use them. So just put your strongest units in training. And also, as you can see, I got gold, I got books. For me, books are kind of useless in that, except for the SSR books. We'll go over that in a little bit. So we went over vampire bats. Vampire bats are amazing. They give you sustain. They have some damage. They're not the strongest, but they'll keep you alive. If you want to go for damage, these are the best flyers in my opinion. They should be your first soldiers as a beginner in a medium mid game player to level up, because as you can see mine are level 10, but all stats plus 30%. These guys are amazing. Magic defense taken decreases by 45% with soldier HP is above 50%. So basically, if you get AoE'd, knock 45% off of that, whatever damage it would have taken to your soldiers. If you get a single target attacked, which is the best for these, let's say Lana wants to try to one-shot you, she can't one-shot you, because if these things are 100% health or even lower, because it only has to be up to 50%, well, usually Lana can one-shot things, but if you have Angel, she's going to have a hard time one-shotting things, because these things have a 45% magic defense decrease. So that's just amazing in itself. These things are amazing for arena. That's why Slayer emblem accessory is so good, because everyone has flyers. Flyers are just so OP. They're not weak against anything except for bows, archers, and not that many people use archers. So they do a lot of damage. They could even, even lancers, they can poke through lancers. And that's not all. Attack and defense increased by 20%. So on top of that buff, which in itself is just amazing, 20% attack and defense increase. That's just on top of the percentage that you get just from the raw stats and from the whatever hero you're using on their stats. So these guys are just, if you're a beginner and you're a mid-game user, your first units you want to level up are the Angels, in my opinion. Hands down, Angels. That's the number one. Okay. An alternative, instead, if you didn't want to go, let's say, because Altai Molar doesn't use these. Only Leon, Cherry, which is an awesome unit for Cherry, awesome unit for Matthew. Especially when he's in his hero form. Norm, I wouldn't recommend using it for Norm, but if you wanted to go tanky, let's say you wanted for some reason you knew she was going to be getting attacked, but you wanted her bow form, but you put some angels on her, she's going to lose a lot of damage unless she has Ordur's bow, but even then, she's going to lose a lot of damage, so I wouldn't see why you would put it on Norm. But any melee attacker that can use these, definitely put them on them. It does add survivability if you put it on a ranged unit, but most of the ranged unit that you put these on, it's not really putting it on. It's not worth it, because Norm's gonna get one shot anyways. So was this guy. He's pretty new, I forgot his name, but he'll get one shot. She might not get one shot, but he'll survive. But yeah, you want to work on Angels. That's enough for Angels. Altai Muller, his best attack soldiers is Gargoyles, because it adds, when it's 50% and above, it adds attack by 12%, and it keeps going up. And his defense increases when he's low, so keep that in mind. But these are amazing too. And let's see what else is good on here. Griffin Knights are good. They're good starting off units. Basically when you're above 80% attack and defense, just goes up. They're good starting off units, but you want to focus on Vampire Bats and Angels. And then once you have the luxury If you could either skip uh, vampire bats if you want to go angels or gargoyle, but I don't recommend it. But gargoyles will hit more than vampire bats for multi-molar if you're just looking to go strictly damage. But the utility of being able to heal, in my opinion, is not worth it to go to gargoyle bats. But now that I've pretty much maxed out everything, I will be going for gargoyle bats whenever I see that's a better opportunity, because in situations gargoyle bats are better. Okay, so now that we've gone over which unit you want to level up first, let's start going over when you're in mid game. And in mid game, basically you want to set goals. And for me as a newer player, my goal was to always get their attack up. Okay, but it's let me see. When you're leveling something up, when you get to level 12 on the attack, it starts using SSR books, so you don't need the gold books. So keep that in mind. And once you get to the gold books, the cost of it is ridiculous, but it will be a lot easier to level it up. And basically my goal was to get everything to the point where you get SSR books, where you need SSR books to level it up. So as you can see, that's what I did with every training. Most people, they just focus on flyers and holy and demon, because that, you know, that's Lana, that's your healers, that's pretty much half of your units right there. And then your main DPS is usually a flyer, and sometimes you're using the lancer and you're using Elwyn and the infantry. So that's usually what they work on. People normally ignore cavalry and assassin for late game, which is a good idea. If you just started off and you're a new player, I do not recommend you working on this assassin and cavalry, because unless you got Landius and that's going to be your main tank, ignore this when you're starting off as a beginner. When you're in mid game, kind of still ignore it also, you know, because you need to save your gold for other things on your main units. Okay, so I'm basically past mid game, heading to late game, where I'm more focused on PvP at this point. I'm starting to focus on PvP because most of my units are all leveled up. Let's go over like what I got leveled up real quick. Okay, on my infantry, I've got basically the only things I got level 10. Alwyn. If you have Alwyn, you gotta get the mass maids. Okay, I'm gonna go over every tree and what are the best units. In infantry, mass maids, Alwyn, you have to get them. They're amazing. Elwyn, lead-in, pretty much the top tier infantries. Two of the many can use mass maids, and mass maids attack defense and magic defense increased by 45% and stands for 5% of the units at current HP. Is amazing. Berserkers, I got level 10, and for Berserkers I use that on my Landfort. That's what Landfort uses. Leon could also use it, but I don't think I've ever used it on Leon. Lester can also use it, but it's a terrible combo with Lester. Do not use it on Lester because he cannot move again if you have Berserkers. Berserkers have no movement, so not a good unit for him. But Estella can use it. Pretty good on her. Pretty good on him and on Angelica. It's just situational, but Lanford, definitely his best units. I'm currently going to start working on these too for my Vargas whenever I want to switch him up. Or even Juggler. So, you know, it's kind of situational. In Lancer, oh, hold on. Let's go over all these. This is like Bernhardt, Dark Guard. They're very good. It does health percentage damage. I don't have Bernhardt, so I don't really use these. But Juggler can also use these. I mean, not Juggler. Landius can also use this, and currently I'm leveling up Landius. Freya can use these because she does a lot of fixed damage. These are also good. I don't use a lot of units besides I don't really use them yet, but I'm working on my Bernhardt and I'm working on my Landius, which also use Dark Guard, so I might be using them. But these, if you use these characters, definitely get Dark Guards. Okay? This is a good option for Vargas. And it's also a good option for if you happen to not have any good tanks. Grenadier also can use Cyclopses. Okay. These are good options also, but they're not the best. So I would just level them up to level 5 and whatever you think you can. A lot of units could use this, but I wouldn't recommend leveling this up. I wouldn't recommend leveling these up either. These are mostly for healers, but it's not worth the resources when you're starting off. Lancers, the best unit for me is that Lava Titan because it does 30% HP damage. It does like a burn effect after your turn-ins. These are amazing in Vargas. These are you can put them on Lana, you can put them on Bernhardt, you can put them on Listel and Anna, and they're situational also. Like sometimes in time trials or on PvE maps, you could literally just have them doing percentage damage and they won't even attack back if they're over a wall, kind of stuff. So, and they're just tanky. So those are good. These are kind of good also. I don't like them because it's only when your soldiers are 70%, your damage just decreases. But Felix are extremely good if you use lead-in, and Altai Muller can use them also if you're going tank Altai Muller. Freya can use them. Pretty much all the tanks can use them. Even Matthew can use them. These are, a lot of people can use them. So these are good to level up. I just don't really use them much because I don't use lead-in, and I use Vargas, and for Vargas I use these. So these are good barb damage ones. And Amazon champions are pretty good if you're looking to attack. Lanford's good on them when you need him to be tanky. Even lead-in. It's all situational. Into cavalry. Cavalry, the best units I would say, damage-wise, is the bone dino, but nobody builds them up. Nobody really uses them because they could easily get countered. But if you're going into straight cavalry, straight infantry, they're going to do the most damage. They're also very squishy, but they're definitely going to hit the hardest if you've got 80% or above health. Otherwise, they're useless if you got under 80%. But Leon and Sonya is the best units to be using them. But in my opinion, the best cavalry units is either going to be the Templar Knight, because when battling against demons, which is, some people have Bozo as their demon, some people have Lestel as their demon, and there's others. There you go. Zoraida. She is also a demon in one of her classes. When she goes down this path with Siam, she's a demon. In this path, she's an assassin. So there's other demons, but it's a good they're definitely tanky, because the defense and attack increases tremendously against demons. But since it's only against demons, they're like, so-so. I mean, I think they're still great, but you're not always going to be battling against demons. So in my opinion, these are probably the best. Royal Cavalry tied with Heaven's Guard when you're going attack. When you're going defense, Royal Cavalry. When you're going attack, Heaven's Guard. In Heaven's Guard, soldier attack increases by 9% when each block passed by before attacking. At most 27%, and that just goes up. I'm not sure what it is at level 10, but it's a lot more than what I have. This is definitely, if you're going to be moving at least 3 spaces, definitely the unit to go when you want to do the most damage. And this is definitely the unit you want to go when you want to survive. And that's pretty much it for the cavalry. My cavalry is actually not that bad, considering I don't really work on them. And even if I were to click, I don't have gold. Oops. I don't have gold, but like, look how many books I have. 451 books. So I could easily probably max out. Yeah, I can max this out for sure, because at level 12, this turns into the gold books, and I have plenty of gold books too, and I could easily go to 15 on these. Maxing out, I mean 15. I don't mean like maxing out. You need SSR. You need, let me show you. You need epic materials, and these are not easy to get. I mean, they're easy to get, but a lot of them are not easy to get. So it just takes time. But this and this could get maxed out to where I don't need the gold books anymore. Same with this and this. Flyers, we went over it. Angels, gargoyles. Holy Pegasus is a good for Luna, for the flyer Luna, and basically it just makes her survive a lot better. Vampires, these are pretty good if you're going to be using water units. Alright, assassins. Assassins. Let's go over assassins. In my opinion, assassins should not be used early or mid game. Don't even worry about assassins until you start getting towards late game, or you start being more invested into arena, because you want to clear all your PvP events. You want to clear all your PvP. You want to be able to clear Dragon 70, you want to be able to clear Eternal 65s, all of them. You just want to be able to clear all that before you start focusing on assassins. Because it takes a lot of gold and a lot of investment to start putting things into assassin. when you could be using it on other things to help you clear the other things that you can't clear if you're a beginner. So don't worry about assassins until you have cleared most of the PvP content. Then you can, when you start to worry about arena, you can start working on your diehard, you can start working on your Zeraida, you can start working on your Matthew assassin, or your whoever you're going to be using as an assassin. You can start working on them late game, but early I would not recommend it. It's too much gold, there's too much resources. I would focus on other things first. The Sky Archers are amazing because you can go through tiles. Like, you can go anywhere with the Sky Archers. And people that can use the Sky Archers are Amilda's. That's a good healer that everyone has. She does a lot of debuffs. She has AoE. She has single target health, single target damage. And this guy, it's his best units, because basically you can kill a flyer with him, and he's a good healer and buffer and all that, so he's a good support. So these are definitely worth investing in if you're using Amilda. And what is that guy's name, man? He just came out on this new event. I'm not sure what his name is, but Oliver. Okay, Oliver. Sky Archers, in my opinion, it's his best units. So if you use Oliver, which is a very good unit, in my opinion. Yeah, Oliver, very good unit. Let's go back. So, Sky Archers. Don't worry about the High Elves or the Delk Elves. Ballista's not too bad because it has a stun. Do these even have a stun? Chance to do a random debuff. No, never mind. These don't have it there. These don't have a stun. These are pretty good if you worked on them. They're alright. You can use them with Zarya. You can use these with Zarya. They do debuffs. These are underrated, but they're actually pretty good. A lot of people can use them. Amilda, Zeraida. Oh man, I forgot his name. He can use them. He can use them. Just decent units. In my opinion, Demon Hunters are Luna's best units. Some people may disagree, some people may agree, but they're definitely very useful when it comes to Luna. They decrease defense by 20% and their mobility, so then if she got move again on her, she can walk away from damage. So she can, if these proc, which has a 75% chance to proc, and you have Uldobro on her, she has four square move attack. She can attack you, move away, and you can't even get to her or your teammates, because if you get hit with this debuff where mobility is down by 2 spaces, you're not going anywhere, So I love these. This is another alternative for Luna if you want to go the tankier side. But honestly, when it comes to Luna, like, I just want to do damage, and if she gets attacked, then she gets attacked. Like, you should be guarding her. You should have a tank always near her, because she can again walk again, move back to the tank. So there should be no reason for you to need a tank on her, except for AoE. But AoE, she has magic defense on her, so I don't know. Some people use these. I play more aggressive, so I don't really use these, but they're not a bad alternative. Alright, Firebrand snipers, My opinion, they're not terrible, but they're not good. Nobody really uses them. Here's the units that can use them. All these units that can use them have a way better option than firebrand snipers. So, unless the opponent has like 4 flyers already up and you're looking to counter, then I really don't see a use for these yet. So don't worry about those. Samurais are really good. They are these 2 characters' best units. So if you use these 2 characters, definitely get samurais. Shinobis, in my opinion, one of the best assassins. If you're using Die Hard in Arena, you're using Shinobis. If you're using Matthew in Arena, you're either using Hero Matthew or using Shinobi Assassin Matthew or the Flyer. But Shinobis are these units' best unit, in my opinion. I mean, they could also use Angels. That's also pretty good unit also. But these are just amazing because mine's not max, but if the character needs crit, these are good because crit increased by 26%. And Die Hard, he uses crit. This guy, he uses crit. Assassin Matthew, he uses crit. So that in itself is already pretty good. And then on top of that, it deals percentage damage, and currently mine are level 8, so it does 16% of enemies max HP. Level 9 does 18. I think level 10 it does 20. But yeah, these are definitely good. And that's it for assassin. As you can see, mine are. I don't need gold books anymore. This is max. This is not max, but I mean I could level up a few times, but that's maxed. And everything else is maxed except for this, but I don't really have gold to level that up, but I'm pretty sure I can max that out too. Last, holy and demon soldiers. Okay. Now, the holy, in my opinion, the best soldiers you can invest in is the flyers and the holy and demon training. And probably holy and demon training outweighs the flyers, because not everybody has all the units that I have that use the flyers. Not a lot of people have Lestelle. You know, I use vampires on her. So holy and demon training covers all the mages, it covers all the healers, it covers I mean, these zealots, Leiden can use them, Chris can use them as an attacker. You know, these are amazing. Definitely Chris's best units. Leiden, it's situational. If there's a lot of demons, these things are just gonna shit on demons. Same thing for these guys. It's situational, but these are amazing against demons because they're holy and they have a lot of attack and defense, magic defense. If you have at least a few buffs on you. When soldier HP is above 80% for every equipped buff, you need at least 3 buffs, which is a fraction buff. You get 45% of attack, defense, magic defense. Holy Knights are pretty good on these units because it gives them a lot of Holy Knights have a lot of movement speed. So if you want extra heals and movement speed, this is a good alternative for these guys. If you want more damage for those guys, those same guys can use sorcerers, which is better damage, and they can go anywhere. The cavalries can't, but cavalries have more movement speed. Bishops are good. Like literally almost everything in these are good, pretty good. Almost everything. Bishops, good for Amilda. Amilda, I use them for Amilda. You can use them for any of these healers. They're going to do extra healing. They're going to give you normal attacks or magic damage. And they're going to increase your defense. But they're not the best defensive unit for melee attackers. But they are the best healers for people that can use them. Hellfire Archers are not the best unit for Zoraida, but Zoraida can definitely use them. And since my sorcerers, everything's pretty much maxed. Even this is pretty much, you know, everything's maxed. I just don't have gold. But Zoraida, definitely use these. And everybody else, not the best unit, but it's situational, which is a lot of flyers. Why not use these? Wizards are pretty good. I know Haim can't use sorcerers, so this is his best attack unit. And I think same case for Bozo. So if you want to invest in these and you use these characters, go for it. You know, they're not bad units. They actually have more attack than sorcerers. I believe they do. Oh, they don't have more attack, but they have, like this, it doesn't matter. For wizards, it doesn't matter if they're low HP or high HP, because when attacking, magic defense increased by 20%. So whenever you're attacking, you're going to have those bonuses. But for sorcerers, if they get attacked by like an AoE or they get attacked by any attack, if they're not at 100%, then they don't have attack and magic defense at 45%. But if they have 100% health, then they're going to have a lot of attack and magic defense. But as soon as they get attacked, they don't have that. So, you know, they're still amazing. These are definitely the best units still, and a lot of people can use them. So I use these for Lona, I use them for Bozo, I use them for Liffany. Basically any mage that can use this, I use it for. Shrine Maidens, in my opinion, are the best for healers that can use them, because they're going to have the most survivability when it comes to melee attacks. So my Liana's using them, my Sophia's using them, even Haim is using them if I'm worried that he's going to get one shot. These, when they're 100% physical damage in my level 10, is reduced by 75%. So 75%. So if you're leading, or not leading, if you're Leon, let's put an example, you're Leon, you're Altai-Muller, you know, you're Alwyn, attacks my Shrine Maidens, and they don't have anything that, let's say, if they have Ragnarok, then this is not valid, because Ragnarok, as soon as they attack, does some fixed damage. Thus, when he actually attacks, these soldiers don't have 100% health anymore, and you can take away that 75% reduced damage. But a lot of people don't have Ragnarok, you know, and when they actually get attacked, because normally these guys, your healers are going to be, you know, Liana's going to be with the tank. So when they finally get attacked, for some reason, if your tank loses guard, whether it be from mobility down or the passive disabled or something like that, your Liana will actually survive. because 75% of the physical damage is reduced, meaning that only 25% of their actual damage is taken into consideration. Plus, if you have this Holy and Mage HP at 100%, so when your Liana is 100%, you got that 75% reduction, and then damage taken is decreased by 22%. Well, mine's level 7, so it's 19%. So you're taking the 19%, which will go up to 25%. This goes up to 75%. So you have this and this level 10. Your soldiers take 0 damage if they have 100% health. So they literally don't even get hurt. If a mage attacks you, that's a different story. But if any melee physical damage hits you, these guys don't even get hurt. So that's why those are amazing. So yeah. And that's going to be all that. I pretty much went over every unit, what's the best units, what you'll be using, which ones to train first. So it just basically at the end of the story, it just depends on what units you're using, what units you get first, and you know when you're starting off, who to train. The last things I want to tell you is always do these. If you know you're gonna be off and you're not gonna be playing, okay, I got battery. If you know you're gonna be playing, if you're going to sleep, put the 8 hours. You know, if you're taking a little break, put 4 hours. If you're still playing, put 2 hours. You know, you maximize the pots and the experience and the books that you're gonna get, because you can't get SSR books on these also. And yeah, that's my guide. Oh, let me last thing to check. Let's go to bonds. Okay. Like in my Leon's case, when soldiers come into part with the character, the third skill right here, their first skill is always going to be all soldier stats increased by 10%. So all your soldiers stats are going to be increased by 10% if you get this first one up. This third one is always your soldiers, but it's always different depending on the unit, whether it's HP or attack, or you know, you can go to like let me go to Vargas. He doesn't have attack on his, and his attack is not even useful. So attack and defense on Vargas right here is HP and defense, and on Leon it's attack and defense, and it can vary depending on which champion. They all have different ones. So right here you could see attack, HP and attack plus 15% maxed, and this is plus 10%. All stats. So together that's 25 attack. So you go to the units right here, and you can see Leon, when you add the bonds up, it's 40% hero boost on the angels. The attack 40% on the angels. The defense and magic defense, you get boost 10% on each one. And every soldier, every unit is going to be different because they don't all get the same buffs on the bonds. So, like, we just looked at Leon, it was 40, 40, 10, 10. We can go to Altai Muller, he's the same thing, 40, 40, 10, 10. Okay. We can go to Vargas. He's 40 HP, 10 attack, 35 defense, and 10 magic defense. See, that's completely different. Go to Elwin. Elwin doesn't have 40 attack. He has 35% attack, 15% HP, and 35% defense, and 15% magic defense. See, so based on this, on your soldiers and what their bonds are, is really how you want to build your soldiers. So always keep that in mind. Whether you want to go defensively, you know, like let me show you another example. Like in Leon's and Altai-Muller's, they were straight damage and HP. So you want to go with the heavy attack soldier to optimize the attack on your soldiers. Now if you go to like Juggler, my bonds ain't max on him, but see, his defense is already 27%. Who's a better tank? Nandius, 27%. So you know, it just depends on. You got to keep that in mind too. So always keep that in mind on which soldiers you're going to be using to maximize the defense or magic defense or whatever on your unit. And yeah, that's basically all I wanted to go over when it comes to soldiers. So if you have any questions about soldiers or which ones, I know I didn't go really into which units have the best soldiers are, or which you could basically use any soldier for any hero, but which are their most optimal. Some are basically situational, some are optimal. So if you have any questions on that, you know, give me a holler, and yeah, just leave me your thoughts, and be looking out for my next video, and that's going to be it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Later.